What's going on, guys? Welcome back. I've finally returned after I promised you a full Oakley review a couple of days after the last video. Obviously, I haven't delivered that. I will explain why, but we are back now. So let me jump into what my thoughts are on the Oakleys and we'll go from there. So long story short, I actually returned the Oakley Meta glasses, but why? Overall, I'm a big fan of Meta glasses, both Ray-Bans and the Oakleys. I absolutely love them both. Now, I know not everyone feels the same way. Obviously, opinions are subjective, especially when it comes to tech. Some people love certain things, other people don't see any value in them at all. And the Oakleys definitely fall into that category. A lot of people don't see the point in having a pair of sunglasses that has a camera, has the speakers, has microphones, and all of the other tech that's inside it. But as I said, I do personally love Meta glasses. I think they're a great piece of tech and I really do enjoy using them. The only reason that I've returned the Oakleys is, for me, I don't feel like they're worth the value over the Ray-Bans. The extra camera upgrade, while it is nice and it does look better, you can only really see that quality increase if you're cropping in, which for the majority of people who are buying these glasses for social media purposes, it's not really going to be noticed. Your viewers aren't going to be commenting on how much better the camera looks because they can see a few extra leaves or on a tree in the distance, for example. And for me, that camera upgrade's just not quite worth it. The battery life, on the other hand, is nice. I did notice a big difference when using the glasses. I didn't get the Oakleys to drain once, but then I also never got my Ray-Bans to drain. Very rarely do I find myself wearing the glasses for that long of a period of time, 4 hours or more. So the battery life for me, while I did notice it was better, it didn't really add any value to my use case. That being said, if I did ever make the Ray-Bans run out of battery, you can pop them in the case for like 15 minutes and they recharge back up to like 50% in that time. So it's really not that big of a deal. You can take them off, or you pop into a shop or go to the toilet or whatever, and you're going to get a good amount of battery back in that time. So it's not really a major issue. And the main reason I sent the Oakleys back was not because I didn't value those two upgrades as much as I thought I would, but more for the fact that the build quality of the glasses and the case themselves felt quite lackluster compared to the Ray-Bans. In my opinion, the Ray-Bans definitely feel like they have a better build quality. The case, definitely, with the full leather case with the lid that's completely attached and comes over, versus the Oakleys, which had a tiny little flap holding the lid on. I can just see that case over time wearing down and that lid eventually becoming detached. Obviously, it is magnetic, so you would probably still be able to use it, but for a £500 pair of sunglasses, or £400 plus when the full lineup comes out, depending on which options you choose, they just didn't feel worth the money in terms of a build quality perspective. Whereas the Ray-Bans at £299 and upwards do feel like they have that kind of value of build quality compared to the Oakley glasses. And so overall, if I was to recommend people a pair of Meta glasses, it would still be the Ray-Bans, despite the Oakleys having the upgraded battery and the better camera. For the majority of people, obviously the Ray-Bans are £100 less at like worst case scenario. So people are always going to appreciate the cheaper product, which can do the same thing. The only reason I really can see anyone picking up the Oakleys is if you really do prefer the design, which I personally do, but I also don't dislike the Ray-Bans. And if you really need that 8-hour battery life, if you are going to keep them off 8 hours straight without taking them off at all, which is going to be a very limited number of people, but I can imagine there will still be some people who will be doing that. Not to mention that the Oakleys are only a one-size-fits-all at the current time. There's only one shape, one bridge fit, one size, and I've seen a lot of people complaining, especially in the subreddit, that the glasses are really tight, and they are tighter than the Ray-Bans, but they do have to be. They don't have the curved wingtips that go behind your ears like the Ray-Bans do, so they have to pinch your face a little bit more to give the same support. For me personally, they fit fine. They were a little bit tighter, but it wasn't an issue. For anyone who has a larger head than me, I like to think my head's quite small, they are going to struggle, and that's only going to cause wear on the hinges, which are a weak point of the Meta glasses anyway. So that's my final verdict on the Oakley Metas. Moving on now to the channel update and why I've been a little bit absent over the last couple of weeks. So if you're a returning viewer, you're going to be thinking the scenery behind me looks very different. Brandon, you're no longer in your very unfurnished apartment. So where the hell have you gone? So I'm actually now back living at my mum's house because I'm going travelling on the 1st of September. So I currently don't have a job. I've left my flat. I'm all just getting prepared to go away for quite a long period of time. I think it's probably going to be at least a year I'm going to be out the country for. And that was the main purpose of actually making this channel, is it's going to be more travel related content. Obviously, all the videos I've posted on the channel so far have all been tech related, as it is something I do enjoy talking about and something I do have a very big interest in. But that being said, going forward, the content is going to be more travel focused, especially over the next few weeks as I prepare to go away. I will be making videos about what I'm packing and what I'm preparing to do to go on my trip. Once I do actually go away on the 1st September, I will be posting travel vlogs. I'm going to be trying to do these daily, but ultimately I'm going traveling for the sake of seeing the world and experiencing all these different things. So if the time doesn't allow for it, you know, I'm not going to be upset I don't do it daily. My main priority to go away is not to post vlogs, it's to go away and see the world. The vlogs will be a kind of side hobby, but I will try and find the time to get them out as regularly as I can. Like I say, daily would be ideally, but I'm not going to hold myself to that if the schedule doesn't allow it, or if we have plans in the evening and decide to go out and I just don't get the time to do it. So with that being said, if you do want to see some travel videos coming up, make sure you hit subscribe. I'm going to be going through various different countries across East and Southeast Asia, and potentially some other places depending on finances as and when that trip comes to an end, and see where we end up. And if you have enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a like rating. It really does help the channel. But as always guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.